Hi, everyone. We're here at Bob's. First and foremost, we want to thank you for allowing us to come to the house and take a look at your project. As you know, Bob's has been in the community for a long time, nearly 40 years, always operating with great quality products, great installations, and a great follow up on the service. In fact, a huge amount of our business here at Bob's is referral or repeat business. So today we're going to take a look at the double hung window. We know we had a lot of those on your project. Of course, that's the one that goes up and down. And as we know, both sashes tilt in for cleaning, so that's a little bit of a maintenance factor for you that's nicer than what you currently have. We want to talk a little bit about the difference between this particular product and what happens in the rest of the industry. Almost all the rest of the vinyl windows that are manufactured today are from old style designs, meaning they were pretty bulky and they were pretty abrupt. The outsides of them were pretty squared off. They were pretty thick extrusions. One of the things about this particular product is we want to give you an opportunity to look through the window and not at the window. So when we look at the glass, compared to other manufacturers, it has on average 25% more glass, more visible glass than the rest of the people. When we look at the outside of the window, very important because we're going to see that from the road, we want something aesthetically pleasing, is instead of being those big abrupt extrusions that are squared off, we have a dual radius combo here that creates a nice subtle look. This extrusion, by the way, is still today not being copied in the industry. At one time when it was first introduced, actually it was patented. It creates nice shadow lines, looks more like a standard window with maybe a storm window sitting on top of it. Very, very beautiful for your home aesthetically on the outside. Raise the screen here, take a peek at the sill plate. They do something very different. Most manufacturers take this side of the window, they use it at the base and attach some parts to create the slope sill or create a pocket sill. This has a different extrusion here for a naturally sloped sill. The water easily deflects and looks more like, again, a traditional window where the sill, you've got your sash, lower sash closes, the sill slopes down. Let's go to the inside for a minute and see some of the subtleties on the inside that make it look a little bit nicer than the rest of the people. When we close and lock the window, take a look at the lock. It's mortised in. Most manufacturers in the vinyl side, they kind of attach locks to stuff. It creates two things. One, a noticeable lock, and two, when it comes to security and safety, if I was a burglar, I can actually look right here at the lock on the outside, take a knife and tap on the lock, and possibly break in. This lock is recessed. Very much safer and also a lot prettier and a lot easier to clean around. The sides extrusions, instead of it being squared off, kind of rolled off, real subtle. Top of this extrusion rolled off. Let's take a look at the glazing bead. The glazing bead is something that snaps in here and holds the glass in. This glazing bead, instead of it being very boxy and squared off, has a nice subtle look to it. A lot like a milled piece of lumber, so kind of like what they call an OG molding. The lift rail, the thing that you're going to move the window with. Look at how nice and contoured it is. Even taking the time to radius off the edges. Also, it's kind of makes it a little bit ergonomic, right? Allows you to pull it, close it. Really a nice piece of work here in the design. So, as beautiful as this window is, and it's offered in 8 different wood grains, and you can paint any color you want on the outside, we want to talk about performance. Glass is a big part of it, and we'll talk about that in a second. Of course, with more glass, you get a great performance. Everybody in the industry talks about how it has R value or U value mostly. They don't talk about air infiltration. Weather stripping is what stops the air from coming in or going out. Well, most window manufacturers, when they make a double hung window, they manufacture with a leg of weather stripping right here that bumps up against the jamb, and one that's here on the inside kind of stops the air here. These guys took the time to say, hey, air infiltration is very important when it comes to a double hung window. What if we could add a third leg? So they did one here and they did one here like everybody else. Then they added a third one here. When you get a push of air, it's going to try and bow that sash towards the inside. If there's any separation here, you can lose some of the performance levels. But if you have an extra leg of weather stripping touching up against the sidewall here, guess what? It improves it. When we talk about air infiltration ratings, this is one of the lowest in the industry in comparison to the rest of the people out there. So we're talking about an opportunity to have great air infiltration ratings. We're talking about great aesthetics. When it comes to glass, hopefully the gentleman that was in the house took a little time to show you how it performs. I can tell you they're using Cardinal Glass, which is located here in the state of Wisconsin. The low E coatings, they're using a dual silver low E. It performs very, very well. It helps if it's 0 outside and 70 in your house, middle of the winter, probably your center temperature is going to be in a 50-degree range. Very, very warm. So, again, we want to thank you for allowing us to come to the house. Hopefully that gives you the kind of the Reader's Digest of some of the things you looked at, and let's get your project together for you.